Kate, let's take a look at the front page of the Financial Times weekend, looking at the economy and 1 million jobs set to go this year.
There has been a significant shift from the Chancellor of the Exchequer in the announcements. Very much at the start of the outbreak, lockdown, there was a much more reassurance, I think, in terms of people's jobs and livelihoods. I think what we've got to understand is that the government support financially is finite. We know that we've all got to put back into the system to afford that. There's no question that some businesses have been saved through this, but there are so many industries that just don't seem to have had a look in. And we talk about this viability in terms of people's jobs being viable, people's businesses being viable. But if the flick has been switched off on your industry completely, and I'm talking about travel, hospitality, events, musicians, so many industries that have been affected that just aren't even allowed to operate. It's not so much about their viability, it's just about the fact that that industry has to be closed down to keep us safe. And I think there's got to be so much more in terms of direct conversations from many industry bodies to the government now to see what can be done.
Is there a sense in all of this? I know it sounds really harsh and it's not an industry I'm involved in. If you're watching and you're in one of those industries, then I'd love to hear your thoughts. But are we reaching a point where, in fact, we may have to say people in this industry need to be retrained and move into something else? This industry is not going to be sustainable for, I don't know, another 5 or 10 years.
What was really interesting was the fact that some industries seem to have their voice, their megaphone straight into the ear in the government, and so many industries didn't. And one of the key examples of that was the beauty industry, the closed service beauty industry, who were told they couldn't reopen for such a long time. Then they were told they could open, invested in a lot of PPE. Then they were told it had to be a delayed opening. And what I think there has to be is more direct conversation. We can't completely shut industries down, but if we talk to the leaders, maybe we can understand what's the digital future there, what would they like to see team members retrained in to help them keep going in the short term, but then look at a longer picture. All I'm saying is viability can't just be down to the fact that a business can keep going or not when sectors have had to close down almost in entirety.